right, y'all. So yesterday I went to the first day of Diddy's trial. It was the first day of jury selection, and man, was it a long day. We were there from like 9:30 to like 6:30.
Yeah. At night?
Yes.
Wow. Dang.
They went through, it was because there's a lot of jurors. There's like, I think the pool was like anywhere from like 150, 175. I believe it's 150 people big.
So you got to see the jurors?
Not all of them, but yes. Because we couldn't do all of them in one day, but yes. So when I first got there, first of all, it was a horrible day to have to be outside of anywhere. But I was outside and there was like tons of media press set up. So we did our intro into the fact that I'll be covering it for the latest with Loren LoRosa. So you guys will see that on my YouTube channel. But there was a lot of media there, but not as much as I thought would be there, but I think it's because it's the first day. Once I got into the courtroom, I was told that I was already too late to go in the actual courtroom where Puff was going to be. So I went into an overflow room. So in the overflow room, all you could do was listen. So from 9:30 to like 2, maybe 1:30, I was just sitting there listening to juror after juror after juror after juror. Y'all, I felt like I was in school.
What did they do? Like interview them?
Yes, they interviewed them. So they have this list that they put together. It's a people and places list. And
like,
then
have you ever heard No Way Out? Is that your favorite album? That type of stuff?
Not those exact words, but similar to it. So they ask you, they ask people about different celebrities they know. Michael B. Jordan was on the list. Kid Cudi was on the list. Kanye West was on the list. Some of Diddy's family, including his kids, were on the list.
Did any of the jurors know any of them or no?
Yeah, there were some jurors who knew different people. So like there was.
Were they old?
It was old and young. So there was one woman, she was an older white woman. She thought Michael B. Jordan was Michael Jordan, but she knew that it was a celebrity. There was another girl
so
who
they picked her. They was like, oh, we taking her.
No,
had to.
I think they let her rock because you could tell that like she honestly just didn't know. Right. There was another girl, I didn't get to see her. This is when I was in overflow room, who actually she knew everything. Like she's a big fan of the 90s. She named multiple people. Loren Gibson was on the list, who was Diddy's choreographer and dance instructor for some years. She named her off the list.
She started singing songs. You can hate me now.
No, she didn't start singing songs, but she was the only person I heard that whole day identify Loren Gibson. So I'm like, oh, she really knows. But she says she used to watch Making the Band a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did that whole thing. They also, there was a bunch of different places, like different hotels and things of that nature that, Puff either would have been at, or like people that are of a celebrity or like a certain status go to. They were trying to identify, if you know these places, have you been there, whatever.
Was the majority women, men, white, black?
It was mixed.
Really?
It was a very diverse pool. White, black, men, women, young, old. It was very, very diverse. There was one man that stood out to me. He actually was a juror who, because they give you these questions and they pull you in and they say, okay, this is the case you're going to do. Here's some preliminary questions, because we were trying to make sure there's no conflict, right? So then when they come back, so when we seen them, this is them coming back after those questions. So a lot of the jurors had to update you and say, yo, since the last time I saw you, here's what's changed. One man got on the stand and basically said, my wife was one of the litigators. Remember that party that Puff had when there was a stampede and people passed away?
Yes.
His wife was one of the attorneys on that case. His wife found out from another woman or another person who was on the jury, who went back and told her significant other that she had seen him just in the pool, and then he works with the wife and was like, oh, your husband's on the Diddy case. And she came to her husband and was like, oh no, I hate him. I don't like him. So when he revealed that, they're like, no, like Mark,
took him right off.
Yeah, Diddy's team was just like, no, I don't like him. It's too definite, even though it's not the husband. There was an older black lady who they talked about, or who was there. A lot of them jurors, y'all saw that Cassie video. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you.
How could they not? It was on CNN. It literally was a CNN exclusive video.
That was the reoccurring theme. People kept bringing that up. So one woman said that she didn't see the full video, but she saw a screenshot of the video, and that it was very, can I say,
damning?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
It was very damning.
You're such a prude.
No, I don't know if we could say on the radio, but that got her excluded, meaning they're not going to use her as a juror, because they were like, wait, for you to even, she was like, it was damning.
Judgment,
It was damning, but I can still make a clear and fair decision.
Yeah.
Diddy's team was like, nah, Hey y'all, it's Loren LoRosa from The Breakfast Club. Sorry to interrupt, but y'all know how I do. So I'm here to talk about Top Dog Law. Y'all hear Top Dog Law all over your radio, and I know by now that if you want top dollar, you should also know this. You gotta call Top Dog Law if it's about your car accident. Don't let these little family lawyers finesse you into a little check. Shouldn't nothing be little this season. Remember, for any serious accident, injury case, Top Dog Law gets you top dollar. So make sure you call today to find out what your car accident, your slip and fall, or your construction accident case could really be worth. And calling Top Dog Law is completely free also. It's free for a consultation. Call Top Dog Law today to see if your case is eligible for compensation with no money down. So make sure y'all go holla at my dogs, no pun intended, over at Top Dog Law. That's Top Dog Law on Instagram and topdoglaw.com. Now, let's get back to the Breakfast Club.
How did Diddy look? How did Diddy look?
Wait, I don't know. What I don't understand about that video is he's not on trial for that.
Exactly.
No, but everybody's seen it, which makes him look bad.
Exactly.
Puts him in a bad light.
And I want to bring this back in the next hour because I heard something in the courtroom about the video and how it will probably not be used by the prosecutors, even though they are able to admit the original video. And I've been getting a lot of pushback for calling this out because people are like, that doesn't mean anything, or they can still. And I'm like, no. But you said, how does Diddy look?
Did they look stressed out?
He's definitely a lot thinner. Face is very pale. A lot of gray hair. Some black, but a lot of gray hair. You could tell he was nervous. And he said it in the courtroom. He had asked to go to the bathroom. He was like, excuse me, Judge, I'm a little bit nervous. But you could tell at one point in time I saw, and I was watching him very closely, I saw like his hands shaking a bit, but very involved. He's fighting for his life, literally. Like, I mean, he came with a case of paperwork. He was on the tablet sitting next to Brian Steele. He's reading every juror profile as things are happening. Like when that man revealed that his wife was a part of that litigation team, he's reacting with his attorneys. They're having conversations, but he's also, even though he's in all of that, still very like enduring. Like he was making them laugh. Well, they were having a good time.
The shaking of the hand, I don't think makes him nervous, but remember when he was up there, his hand was shaking like that as well. So it might be
nervous.
I don't know if it was nervous or maybe he had something wrong with him.
He was happy in this room.
It was his left hand.
He wiped up that champagne.
I'm sure he's happier.
I remember that. Yeah.
You know, Diddy had his own Met Gala in jail last night. You do know that, right?
Oh my God. Yo, Jess. Oh my God.
Super fine, tailoring black style. They was altering their jail suits.
Oh,
yes.
Walking the red carpet, and the carpet is red because it's stained with blood from bunkies.
Wait.
You always go too far.
No. Look, before we have to wrap this up, and I'm going to bring this back because I have a little bit more. There was one juror who said she had to admit the fact that she saw something on her timeline that she liked, and it was a Diddy joke. And they were like, what was the joke? And she was like, it was something about baby oil. And I was like, she gonna say Jess Hilarious in the Breakfast Club. I just knew. She didn't though.
Oh, okay.
She didn't. She couldn't remember, but I swear to God, I was like, I know she's about to say it. But because of that, they were
There's
like,
been some great jokes from this situation. It really has been some amazing jokes that have been made about this. Okay. And they will never
last question before we move on. Was his family there? Was his sons there? His mom there?
No, not his sons or his mom or his daughters. There was two people in there that I think were there for him, but I don't know for sure, and I couldn't recognize them. But there was a guy with a free Diddy shirt on the first half when I wasn't in the courtroom.
He's definitely not gonna get picked as no juror.
Yeah, he wasn't a juror. I believe he was just in the stands. I don't know.
Somebody.
Yeah, another one of my reporter friends who was actually in the court with Diddy at the time told me that he was in there and they made him turn the shirt around. So
okay. All right.
Well, happy birthday, Meek Mill.
Did Meek Mill birthday for real?
Yeah.
Meek did not want that.
He didn't want that right there.
He did not want to be mentioned right there.
Not right there.
No,
you could have waited 5.
And you mentioned them at the bottom of the report. Like, why would you do that?
Hey, yo,
why would you do that?
I mean, that was the best way to insert it.
Meek don't want nothing to do with any of this.
That was the best place to insert it.
You could have wished Meek happy birthday anytime during
next hour. You could have done that in 20 minutes.
And you ain't had to ask how Diddy look.
Because was he stressed out?
Now we got to keep an eye on Diddy.
Keep an eye on Diddy tonight, y'all. He's gonna give y'all something. Gonna surprise y'all with something.
All right. Who you giving your donkey to? Thank you for the latest.
4 after the hour, man. You want to talk about bunkies?
No.
We're going to talk about bunkies. There's a woman named Christina Solomito who exposed her bunkie in public, and we need to discuss. She needs to come to the front of the congregation. We need to have a word with her.
All right. We'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Check out video of the full show on Tubi. Free. Classic interviews and more on Tubi every day, all day long, all for free. Just search Breakfast Club and grab your popcorn.